Get up, get down. Name 111 joke in your town. So get up, get down. 911 is a joke in your town. Get up, get down. Late 911, wear the late crown. 911 is a joke. Look, and what I'm talking about, in case you don't know, I want to give a shout out to LVZ NBA Talk. All right. If you haven't subbed to LVZ, definitely go sub to his channel. Logic of the highest order. Woke than a motherfucker. Not gonna cut no corners, gonna give you straight up. And on top of that, one of the generals of the LDBC community. He was the one to break this story first. And according to reports, and this is coming from the Black Information Network, a TOPS assistant manager who called emergency services during a fatal Buffalo shooting said that the 911 operator that answered had an attitude and ultimately hung up in her face. The assistant manager Letitia says she dialed 911 after the gunman opened fire, but the dispatcher who picked up yelled at her and ended the call. When asked to describe the fatal scene, Letitia told WRGZ, she said, "quote I didn't really see much at all. I heard the gunshots and dropped down to the ground and just waited for him to stop, and he just wouldn't stop." Now, the reason why I mention that is because the assistant manager said she whispered while speaking with 911 services because she could hear the gunman nearby. She said, "quote When I whispered on the phone, the dispatcher would start yelling at me saying, 'Why are you whispering? You don't have to whisper.' And I'm trying to tell her, 'Ma'am, he's in the store shooting. It's an active shooter. I'm scared for my life,'" Letitia said. End quote. And the Buffalo woman also revealed that she had to ask her significant other to call authorities after being met with an attitude on the other side of the line. She said, "quote She said she said something crazy to me, and she hung up in my face. I had to call my boyfriend and tell him to call 911." Letitia said. Sound like a joke to me. They told Listen. They tried. Flavor Flav tried to tell us years ago. What's up with the True Viking Queen? I see you in the building. Look, that's why I tell you to arm yourself. Flavor Flav tried to tell us years ago. They joking your town, man. I knew that a long time ago. Man, look, man, these people do not want to come during the crisis, especially like, when it involves African Americans, our people and stuff. You know, look, it's like with the situation that was going on with Kevin Samuels. Look, and I know I know I'm gonna get some pushback on this shit, but I don't give a fuck. All right? Let me tell you like this, all right? When I listened to that 911 call when it came to Kevin Samuels, man, there wasn't no motherfucking sense of urgency at all in that motherfucker. Look, man, this shit is a joke. That's why I tell you to arm your motherfucking self. These people out here, man, they're not prepared for you. And more importantly, 9 times out of 10, man, when you live in a poverty-stricken area or urban community or a place that's, you know, pretty much bombarded with crime and a real rough neighborhood, they're not going to be in no rush to save you because they in fear for their lives. These people are heartless. They don't care. And she was in fear for her life. she was in the situation. You aren't. You just on the end of the phone, and you can only fathom what they're going through, but really you don't, and you don't have any idea what that person going through because that government could have got her. But you want to sit up there and you want to have an attitude during that situation. Look, first and foremost, man, in a situation like that, the 911 caller or anybody that's on the on the other end of a crisis trying to save a life, one of the major things that you're supposed to do is you're supposed to calm the other person down. You're not supposed to inflict more energy because if you're sitting there and you're going at that person during a crisis situation, then it's gonna cause a pandemonium and panic even more. And when that person's already paranoid, when that person's already at a level where their heart is racing, their blood is rushing, everything, man, and even in most cases their adrenaline is rushing. You can't meet that with adrenaline because here you are, you trying to depend on them to get everything done to when they calling in a sense, you're supposed to have a sense of urgency but still stay calm. And the 911 just hung 911 people just hung up in her face. That's savage at its highest order. That's savage at its highest order. Even with that whole situation with Kevin Samuel, I listened to the call, and I know some people have their doubts about or Tinja, whatever her name is, and everything. But at the same token, she's up in there and she's trying to tell these people, look, I got something going down, and I understand why she was cursing. Look, man, you got a man in there going after people. You don't know if you about to be the next one. But it's easy for you to sit on the other end of the line and be like, you know, eating whatever you eating and all this other shit. Hell yeah, it's sad, but I'm raising motherfucking awareness, Mike. Be prepared for your own self. Look, take you some CPR classes. Like I tell you, all these stuff, they got stuff out here that you can learn. You don't think these people of other races, I'm not going to just say white folks. Shoot, all other races, they take different classes to teach you that type of stuff to stay calm. Take you they have classes where you go through shot training and being able to go through like an adrenaline driven type of situation to where they test you to stay calm. And the reason why I'm already naturally bred that way is because playing sports and stuff like that. Because you got playing sports and being in a rough environment and everything. You never know what's going to come at any given time from any angle, and you have to be prepared. You have to be prepared for these type of things. Now it's easy for us to talk about it, but you also have to be about it and stuff. And me, I'm not saying that. Look, that's why like a lot of women nowadays, they learn how to do things for themselves. Like a lot of people think that women are just they can't do this or can't do that. No, one thing that you don't want to underestimate is the intelligence of a woman. And that being said, you have a lot of single moms out here. You have a lot of women out here, that might be on their own or something like that. And when there's a situation such as that, and then they're in fear for their life or anything, you're not going to be able to depend on that 911 dispatcher. I'm just being honest with you. When I heard that song years ago, at first my mom she had cut it off, but then she was like, you know what? Because she didn't want me listening to Public Enemy like because of the lyrics or whatever. But then, like, she was just like, you know what, they are speaking the truth about the shit that's going on in society. They was already keeping us woke, and I had already been on, guys like Public Enemy and NWA and stuff like that. They had been telling us this stuff. They told us this stuff in the lyrics, and so when they came out with, you know, 911 is a joke with Flavor Flav, you might sit up there and say, "Ah, he can't rap or anything like that," but that's not the point. The point is that he's trying to send a message to you, and that message he was trying to send a message then of what was about to take place as we speak now. And I know that. Okay, let's put it like this, right? It doesn't have to do with, okay, yeah, sending the the ambulance, or sending the team there out there or anything like that. But what it does have to do with, in this situation, what I'm the reason why I'm bringing up that song, and the reason why I'm bringing up Flavor Flav, and bringing up that message and stuff, is because they're sitting there going at a person who's clearly paranoid, who's clearly in fear for their life, clearly don't know what's going to happen. That person got kids, probably. That person got a family they got to make it to. That person thinking that they look. If you've never been met in that type of situation, some of y'all not going to even fathom. But you have to be aware of what's going on in these situations, because then when you met with it, then what you're going to say? The only reason I bring this up is because I'm not surprised by this shit. And see, I had asked y'all the other day. I said, was this racially motivated, or was this government motive? Was it motivated by the government, or was it both? And I call both. I don't care what nobody says. They made a movie with Holly Berry. I forget the movie name with Holly Berry, but she was a dispatcher in that in that in that movie. That's how the dispatchers are really supposed to truly feel, because they want to be able to do something. But see, I was taught a long, long time ago not to rely on no teachers, not to rely on no authorities. Just because they got a uniform on, they still a a human fucking being. Just because those people are on the other end of the line, they still a human being. And to be honest with you, I know, like True Viking was saying, a soulless society. It that's that's facts right there, because we truly don't know how that other person is feeling on the other end of the line. So with it, asking, why would they let the video get out on Twitter if it's not our government related? They showing us stuff to make us fearful. Exactly, exactly. What's up, Arskin? I haven't seen you in a minute either, man. No, well, that's facts. And that's what I said, R. Skinner. Look, the media they're taught to perpetuate fear. That's why, like, my mom understood why I didn't. After a while, I stopped watching the news, because it's motivated by fear. They want to keep. Also, believe it or not, they do want their ratings. Be it left, or if you're on the left or the right. And for those of you that know what I'm talking about from a political scene, if you're on the right end of the spectrum, or if you're on the left end of the spectrum, you know what I'm saying, whether it's CNN or Fox Sports. What's up with it, Stephen Brown? Haven't seen you in a minute, man. What's good with it? Hope you're good. But they told us a long time ago. But this is just something to think about it, man. And like I said, man, make sure y'all go subscribe to the homeboy, uh, to the general LVZ NBA talk, man. LDBC's finest. I appreciate y'all pulling up. Like the video, share it, subscribe, hit the notifications. Polo Sports Talking Entertainment. I'll get at you later.